Well, Chris, this is Dr. Peter Terzop, and I just wanted to thank you in this video for your work in the class, but also your work on this final paper. I like using the videos to be able to make more of an on-site type relationship. Having said that, it does take a lot more time, but it allows me to give a lot more feedback. In this class, I really wish I could have used more of the videos and discussion posts, but there's some rule changes at the school, and they're working through those as we speak. Having said that, I do have enough written feedback in here in order to use the videos, and hopefully this will be a different way to give you the most effective feedback possible. I find students in the past like it in the sense that it feels like the professor sitting there with them, talking specifically not only with them but about their paper. Looking at your Turnitin 8%, I didn't see any issues with that, and that's a good number. The running header format's off, and the page number 1 should be in the right-hand corner. Double space your information, left, right, justification. It's Dr. Peter Terzop. I always emphasize that because I failed to do that one time and it was not the prettiest conversation. Having said that, I don't get upset, but some professors do. Looking at the end of your paper for sources 13, page 12, and 11 need to be deleted right off the bat because they're just not correct format. In other words, there's nothing on them. The U.S. government running header is not in proper format. It needs to be in all caps. There needs to be a page number in the right-hand corner, and I don't see any of that. That's just basic APA. The references may have been distorted a little bit because sometimes when things transfer over to the program, it does that. Having said that, you do need to make the effort to make sure it's right. Um, the first reference is fine. Historical dictionary, Fraser, we don't like to use those because they're dictionaries. Let's see over here. Journal of Southern History is fine. Let's see. Public Manager's fine. Harvard Law is a good one. Judicial Branch, Teacher Librarian. I don't know what that is. That doesn't look like an effective source. It looks like a library source. Let's see. Snyder, John Michael. The is capitalized. The Right to Bear Arms. I'm not sure what that source is. It's so broken up. I'm not really sure what that is. And that might just be a website. I'm not sure. So it needs to be clear. The Legislative Branch Quarterly Review, that's fine. I would note that the format's off. And again, that may be a simple transfer issue, but it's something to note, something to take care of if you get an opportunity. Looking at the top again, introduction, let's see. It kind of looked like things got pushed up. The introduction thesis should be on the next page. Running header again, page numbers. Very hard to see or talk about where I'm at when I don't see anything. But this is the introduction thesis. So right here in the beginning, the Constitution outlines, let's see, the United States government creates laws, outline the Constitution. There are the articles and the Bill of Rights, and the separation of powers. But what's this paper about? So that last sentence should be this. Not, it doesn't have to be said this way, but this paper will just analyze the following things or whatever the thesis is. So if you're just going to talk about this, you could have just made it a little more clear. Also, we typically like to cite in our first paragraph. It sets the academic tone, and that would have been nice. Um, okay, the United States government. Okay, each aspect of the United States carries the purpose of this essay. Okay, so then I go down to the second part. So you have a two-part one, and I would note that sometimes you want to make it like put that in the first introduction. The purpose of this essay is to show how each extension of the United States government fulfills its purpose and how Congress operates in relation to the Constitution. So that's something where you just got to be careful. Like one, there's no citations in either paragraphs, and this might be something where it's kind of unclear because you don't really it kind of looks like you're trying to make a thesis in the first paragraph, and that's why someone would come off what I was saying earlier. So you got to be clear, and like I said, you need to cite in both paragraphs. That would be good. The Constitution, your headers should be centered, and they look like they're right justified a little bit. Our country was founded on values of freedom-based living, Rosin. That's good that you cite it, but again, this conversational tone. Our country, it may not be our country. What if I was from a different country and then I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense to me. So you want to write things in without conversational tone and more an academic tone. Also, it's a single indentation, not double indentation on your paragraphs. And paragraphs need to be 3 to 5 sentences. Some of your paragraphs, like this one, is very long and it needs to be broken up into 2 paragraphs at minimum. Whenever American people have a problem or an issue needs to be addressed, they are able to call. Okay. Double, single, a weakness that could have been a header. Cite something in there that would have been important. And so just kind of looking through, you have a number of paragraphs that are not cited. One in here is Constitution. If the people are not informed about their rights, they they would not. We don't contract words, and you need to cite. So there's a lot of paragraphs here that are either not 3 to 5 sentences, maybe they're not cited. Like the one under federal policies, I like you're using headers, that helps organize. But the 3 to 5 sentences per paragraph, and long paragraphs, it needs to be taken care. It needs to be done better. Schneider at the end of this one, Republicans also feel their Second Amendment rights will be violated if there are any kind of bans. You might say many Republicans or a large number of Republicans, but don't say the Republicans because they don't speak as a group. Schneider 97, whenever you cite it, then a cite, you need to expand the analysis, and at the end of the paragraph, that's an example where it's not expanded. That would be something to do here. Um, Again, paragraphs under this one, separation of powers, good header. Long paragraph, you need to break those up. It's good that you cite it multiple times, but this is like 3 paragraphs into one, plus Shireen needs to be expanded at the end. The next one, these 3 branches, this is a really nice paragraph, but this probably needs to be cited. Political parties needs to have a citation. That paragraph, the Democrats, no citation there. They feel it isn't, well, maybe not so much feel, maybe they think, or their position is individual personal. You want to try to take out words like feeling. What's is what is. Don't contract words can't, cannot. Shannon 2015, you need to probably expand that just a little in the analysis here. The conclusion header is good. Long conclusion, maybe 2 paragraphs and things like that. What I would note in your work is that you got, for the most part, good sources. You have a few that may not need to be in there. I guess, I mean, looking at it, it looks like you use most of them, but you need to really make sure it's clearly that you cite all your sources. But the one thing that makes it look like it's not used effectively is you have a lot of paragraphs that are not cited. So they're not supported or anchored. You have a little bit of conversational tone, you have contracted words, you have a little bit of APA, as I noted. Those are things that you need to fix. They're easy fixes. But the biggest thing to me is like that organization. Like 3 to 5 sentences, it's very hard to follow your analysis at points because not only is there some APA issues and some conversational tone and some won't, I call it that, I don't, it's not a misspelling, but it's not proper grammar for academic work. But you have these really long paragraphs that can really expand and expand and expand, and you need to really control those down and cite in each one of them that anchors what you're doing. So if I were to note those things, focus on those things, delete the empty pages, clean up your work, maybe use something like the Perla program that can help you out with that. And the presentation side would be, and the organization side would be a lot stronger. I do like your header use, your writing length. You do have a number of sources, so there's a lot of positives in your work, and it's a really strong piece of work. So I do appreciate all that as well. If there's anything else I can do for you in the class, please drop me a line right away. Thank you and best of luck.